Go ahead and have a seat. Yeah. Well, what a beautiful day it is. Yes. You know, I've never led a building dedication before, and I can imagine that some of them might be, pretty formal, maybe even a little bit boring. I gotta tell you, that's not gonna be the case today. We have, Valvoline has a great business. We've got an incredible team, and now we have a kick-ass world headquarters. Yes. All right, for the media, you don't have to print that last quote. I don't want to get in trouble with my mother. Valvoline has got an amazing history, 150-year history. And it was just a year ago that we celebrated that 150th anniversary, first with a big celebration in Rupp, but then last fall with an IPO, a very successful IPO. That was an exciting time, wasn't it, Valvoline team? And yet this year, now in 2017, we're celebrating our move into a brand new building, and tomorrow, after the market close, after 67 years of being part of the great Ashland company, Valvoline will stand on its own. Well, we are so honored today to have many government community leaders with us for this fun event. And, with our elected officials, they have a difficult job, don't they? I mean, they've got to take difficult stands on certain issues, make tough decisions, and it's not easy. But I got to tell you, I feel that I know Governor Bevin and Congressman Barr and Mayor Gray well enough to say that all of them are deeply committed to the state of Kentucky and all of the people who live in the Commonwealth and in Lexington and the Bluegrass area. Let's all welcome them. Thank you so much for being with us today. Also want to recognize our State Senator Reggie Thomas is with us. Thank you, Reggie, for being with us. And Carla Blanton, who's doing a great job leading Commerce Lexington. Carla, thank you. All right, we've got a whole host of other community leaders who are with us today, and so let me go ahead and read through the names, and then we'll recognize them at the end. Starting with John Bevington, Deputy Commissioner of Business Development for the Kentucky Cabinet of Economic Development. Kevin Atkins, the Mayor's Chief Development Officer. Derek Paulson, the Commissioner of Planning, Preservation, and Development. Scott Shapiro, also with the Mayor's Office. Chris Ford, Lexington Social Services Commissioner. A number of Urban County Council members today, including Council Member Jenny Scutchfield, who represents us right here in the Valvoline District, but also Council Member James Brown, Kathy Ploman, and Fred Brown. I hope I got everyone. Jenna Greathouse, the Executive Vice President of Economic Development for Commerce Lexington. Micah Sims, Office of Senator Rand Pauls. Ethan Witt, Office of Senator for Mitch McConnell. And Commerce Lexington Board Directors and Investors, a number of folks. And Dave Atkinson, President and CEO, Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, along with Michael Brickley and Kelly Wolf. I hope I got everyone, but boy, thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us today. All right. Well, we've got a number of Ashland and Valvoline leaders with us today, too, that I want to recognize. And it starts with John and Donna Hall. Now, John had a 40-year career with Ashland, serving as Ashland's CEO for 16 years. So a little bit before I joined the company, but boy, John's legacy continues across Ashland. I've gotten to know John through serving on the Transylvania Board of Trustees, and that's been a real honor. But John and Donna boy, they have spent their lives and their time, their finances, really giving back to this community. Strong supporters of education on a local, state, and even a national level. So again, John and Donna, thank you so much for being with us today. We also have Roger Hale, the former chair CEO of LG&E, and he served on Valvoline's board of directors for 15 years. And Roger, let's welcome Roger. He's been a real cheerleader for the Valvoline business. And then Veda Manager, who has been a member of the Ashland board for 8 years, but we convinced him to come over to Valvoline as we made the separation. So Veda's now a Valvoline board of director, had a great career with Nike, and now is working full-time in PR. He is a PR genius. Let's welcome Veda Manager. Jim O'Brien wishes he were here today. I had a great conversation with him recently, and of course Jim was Valvoline president from 1995 to 2001, and then Ashland's chairman and CEO for 12 years from 02 to 15, doing an incredible job. And he wishes everyone all the best. He has got another board meeting that he's got to take care of today, and that's also true for Bill Wolfson. Bill Wolfson is, of course, Ashland's current chair and chief executive officer, also serving on the Valvoline board. So let's also thank Bill and Jim for all their years of support for the Valvoline business, too. All right, and Valvoline leadership team. So all my direct reports. Why don't you guys wave too? These are the guys and gals who make me look good day after day. So they've done a great job and been partners in planning this building too. All right, so Valvoline has been a part of the Lexington community now for 37 years. And it's been a great 37 years. When we first relocated here from Ashland, Kentucky, we moved over into that building right across the parking lot. And I got to tell you, just a couple years ago when I informed the team that Valvoline would be moving, I can tell you that the response immediately wasn't all that positive. But you guys were greatly relieved when you found out that we were moving across the parking lot, right? Well, that's because Lexington is such a great place to live, isn't it? And not only is it a great place to live, but there is a lot of talent in Lexington. And so it is really exciting to just make this commitment with this new headquarter building that Valvoline is going to be located here for many, many years to come. Well, Valvoline has a vision to build the world's leading engine automotive maintenance business. We don't have to be the biggest, but we are going to be the best. We're about a $2 billion business, about 5,500 employees worldwide, operating in over 140 countries. And then right here in the state of Kentucky, we've got 1,100 employees. And then, yes. So we're a major employee in the state of Kentucky, but also right here in Lexington. And we estimate we've got about 650 folks here in the headquarters and in our lab out back too. So it's great. So many team members are right here working together in this new facility. The facts on this building are that it took only 18 months to build. And a number of you were out here in the fall. I think even the sun broke out for that ceremony too, when we broke ground after a good amount of planning. But hard to believe that this beautiful facility came out of the ground in 18 months, allowing us to move in. Although that first week was a little bit hectic too. We had a few contractors finishing up their work, but we got it done, and we are in this building and moving fast. There's a lot that went into this building when it comes to sustainability and how we plan the workspace. When we sat down and when we were interviewing architects for this building, we said, these are the things we're looking for. We want this building to reflect the energy of the Valvoline brand and the energy of our people. In fact, we want to design this building so that there's a lot of good, fast collaboration, because we are about speed, aren't we, Valvoline team? Absolutely. But we're also about good health, taking care of our bodies. And so we said, hey, we're going to make an investment in health through sit-to-stand desk, adjustable desk. And it looks like the team is using those frequently. We've got a great fitness facility here in our cafeteria. Boy, their food is better than ever. They do have pretty good cheeseburgers, but they've got some really healthy choices too. And then the sustainability commitment. This is something that we make in our products, in our facilities around the world. And as you learn on the tour, this building is very much an energy saving building too. So we've got a lot of folks just to recognize when it comes to designing and building this facility. And I want to start with our partners, our development partners from Verus Partners in Chicago, Tim McInerney and Bob McCormick. Tim and Bob, thank you. Excellent work leading this development. And then perhaps most importantly is the designers from Solomon Cordell Buenz, SCB in Chicago, Martin Wolf, Chris Liu, Min-Ho Kim, our architects. Also, guys, I want you to take back our thanks to Steve Olson and Aaron and the rest of the team. Boy, we really had fun working on this building, didn't we? It's been great. As Martin likes to say, hey Sam, you're getting great bang for your buck here with this building, this design. And it was fun. From my office this morning, I saw Martin and Min approaching the building, and it was just neat for the first time, seeing it in person in quite a while. The big smiles on their faces. And Min had his camera taking shots of the building. I think they're proud of their work, and they really should be. It's a beautiful place. Thank you. Bob Ryan from Cushman Wakefield was one of our partners, making sure everything went smoothly. But it was Messer Construction that did the work. And I haven't seen him yet. Rob Enderly, where are you? Rob, stand up, please. Rob Enderly led the project construction for Messer Construction. This building would not have gotten done on time and on budget and as beautiful as it is without Rob's leadership. You just did an awesome job and in leading your team, and we are so thankful for that. Rob Enderly. And then along with Rob today from Messer, Mark Hill, Mary Beth Wright, Scott Davis, Nick Hoog, Brett Stansberry, Lori Rolfs, Linda Gardner, Nick Profit, Jackie Dra Wilson, and David Brunn. Greg Herron, Operations VP, wishes he could be here, but sounds like you brought a big team to celebrate. And again, thank you everyone for doing a great job with this building. All right, but of course, all the help from the outside, it wouldn't have worked if you didn't have great leadership on the inside too. And we had that in a couple folks that I want to recognize from the Valvoline team. And first, it's Craig Kunkemoller. Craig Kunkemoller is actually the leader for Ashland's real estate development. And it was Craig who came to me with the recognition that we could develop better space, a better office that fits Valvoline, and save money from what we had in our old space. And so it was that insight that led us to begin to work with Verus in planning this. So Craig, we're so thankful for your work. Thanks for getting this whole thing started. Craig Kunkemoller. And then there's a gentleman who really likes to work behind the scenes, but he hasn't been able to hide the last year and a half. And of course, that's Tim Heberlin. Tim Heberlin, who leads our office and building services, has been on point to make sure all this work happens. So many details had to come together. And Tim, where are you? He's hiding somewhere, I know it. But let's give it up. I see him waving him back. Let's give it up for Tim Heberlin. Incredible job. And then the other is a creative genius that we have in-house who leads our creative department. And of course, that's Chris Doolin. Chris Doolin has been a partner of mine working on all the branding that goes into the lobby and the different floors. And so I'll give him a crazy idea, and then Chris just makes it happen and adds to it. Let's hear it for Chris Doolin. All right. And lastly, I do want to thank, again, government support, the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development and Lexington Fayette Urban County government have offered $1 million in support of this building too and developing this headquarters. So again, thank you, Jim, and our support from the government. Governor Bevin, thank you. All right. Well, at Valvoline, we have this phrase that describes Valvoline people. And what is it? Never idle and hands-on expertise. Well, when we say hands-on expertise, we mean that Valvoline people not only bring expertise to their job, but they're also hands-on in getting it done, making things happen. And, I believe that strong business is so important for strong communities because really nothing good happens without strong businesses. And this is the responsibility that we have in this community to drive our business, to grow our business, because with that we create jobs and we create stable families and opportunities then for people to be engaged with their community and giving back. And that certainly describes Valvoline people. But it's really when we work together as business with government and with community leaders who care about this community and all the people here, then we can make great things happen. And that is certainly the case with so many of the groups that are here today that represent all the great programs we have here in Lexington. So I'd like to start with education because Ashland and Valvoline have been partnering on education for many years. And I'm going to start with Transylvania University. And as I mentioned, John and I are serving on the Board of Trustees at Transy, working alongside Dr. Seamus Carey. And Dr. Carey is just doing an awesome job at Transy. There's so much good momentum happening at this little gem of a school downtown. And really pleased with that partnership. And we'll continue to support Transy for the future too. Dr. Carey, thank you for joining us today. And then, do we have any Big Blue fans here? They're pretty much everywhere. I think we've got probably a couple hundred UK grads, coming from the business school, the engineering school, yes, the law school too. But good things are happening at UK, and we've been a partner with UK for many, many years. I have the honor of serving on the business school Dean's Advisory Council with Dave Blackwell. He's doing a great job with that business school. And appreciate all the support of Valvoline partnering with them with our mentor program and internship program with UK. Also, next week I'll be over in Frankfurt to celebrate the Kentucky Teacher of the Year honors. And this is a program that Ashland and Valvoline have been supporting for many years. In fact, over the years, $800,000 have been awarded to 550 teachers. And so Valvoline took over the sponsorship of Kentucky Teacher of the Year just last year, and looking forward to continuing that tradition and celebrating our teachers next week over in Frankfurt. KT also stands for education too. Michelle Ripley, from the president for the Commonwealth Fund for KT, do an outstanding job there. And over now 37 years, our employees have volunteered during the annual telefund. So thanks for your volunteer work there. Let's recognize KT and Michelle Ripley. And of course, John is also the founding chairman of the Commonwealth Fund and was recognized in a special event just a year ago. John doing great work again for KT. And then lastly, Fayette County Public Schools, Manny Kalk, the superintendent. Good things happening in our Fayette County school system. And we're making sure that they've got the proper supplies and resources for back to school drives and in support of United Way's United Promise program. So let's welcome Manny Kalk with Fayette County Schools. Manny, thanks. All right, and I want to close my remarks by talking about some of the partnerships that we have in the community, particularly as it relates to supporting kids and families. It starts with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Andrea Uten, the president and CEO, and Natalie Thompson are here from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We've been partnering with them since 2002. And you know what? For each one of these organizations, I had Daryl Love poll, how much have we raised for them over the years? And boy, it turns out to be a pretty substantial amount. Enough so that I'm not going to mention the dollars. That feels a little bit like bragging, but I will brag on our people because our people are the ones that are involved working with each one of these organizations. And so we've got a lot of bigs that serve here, and Big Brothers and Big Sisters, so important when it comes to kids and families. As is the Children's Charity Classic, which is coming up in June. We've been a founding member of the Children's Charity Classic going back, Kim, how many years? 38 years. 38 years with Children's Charity Classic. This golf tournament raises about $500,000 a year supporting all of children's charities across the Bluegrass. It's pretty amazing. And then, of course, United Way. United Way has been doing great work in the Bluegrass for a long time, and that's a big part of our annual giving campaign, too. And Bill Farmer, CEO, and Hannah Krosky, Partnership Development Manager, are here with United Way. So let's recognize United Way. Thank you. All right, our folks love the Hope Center too, and Carrie Cairo, Volunteer and Community Relations Manager, Soraya Shalash. I don't know how I'm doing on some of these names. I haven't met everyone just yet, but they're here, and we have been doing a lot for the Hope Center, which of course helps homeless and families in crisis and need for a lot of years, and even our Santa, Tim Heberlin, volunteers down there every year with Cookies with Santa, helping out those kids. So Hope Center, thanks for joining us today too, and being a great partner. All right, now some of you may have heard of Lexington Leadership Foundation, and Damon Mazza, Director of Development, and David Kozart from the Fatherhood Initiative are here with us today. And this is an organization that I've gotten to know just over the last couple of years, but LLF is doing great work here in Lexington. In fact, they are also building a new facility too, and they'll be moving in later this summer, but it's in the Woodhill neighborhood. Woodhill is a very challenging neighborhood, but the Woodhill Community Center is being built to serve kids and families in that neighborhood. And so Valvoline is stepping up, and we're partnering with them and sponsoring the Education Center. It's going to be about education, athletics, and arts. And as I introduce this to the Valvoline team, there are going to be many opportunities for mentoring down at the Woodhill Community Center, which is just a couple blocks away. So David and Damon, thanks for being with us today. All right, and last but not least is Habitat for Humanity here in Lexington. And Rachel Childress, just an outstanding leader for Habitat for quite a few years now. Boy, Lexington Habitat is so strong, and we're partnering with them again this year, building another home for a family. We've been doing it now for quite a few years, I think going back to the 2002 maybe. And so this Saturday, we've got something big happening, right? This Saturday, we have a community celebration where we'll have an open house for the building so people will be able to take tours. But I had this small idea that, hey, instead of all this furniture and some of the NASCAR memorabilia that we can't bring over to this building because it's a little bit smaller than the space we came from, hey, what if we had a yard sale or an auction and we could benefit charity with that? So that little nugget of an idea has grown into something very big, and it's pretty exciting because I think we're going to raise a lot of money on Saturday as this auction and yard sale takes place, and the proceeds are going to Habitat for Humanity. But in addition to the auction, yard sale, there's going to be a car show, tours of the building, food trucks, stuff for the kids. So if you're learning about this for the first time now, bring your families, 8 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're having a party here in Lexington. Habitat for Humanity, thank you so much, Rachel. Great work. All right, well, I've talked long enough, but I think I had a lot of important things to say and quite a few important people to recognize. But now I'm so honored to have some of our special guests also share their thoughts. And it's going to start with Mayor Gray and Carla Blanton. And so I'd like you to come to the podium now. And Mayor Gray, get us started. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Sam. Well, Sam, you did a great job of introducing everyone here, but I want to tell you, as mayor, I have learned to remember every council member. And there's one here that you didn't see, and that's Amanda Mays Bledsoe. Amanda, thanks for joining us. This is, Governor, this is a great day for Lexington. Thank you for joining us. Congressman Barr, Carla. Valvoline is crowding the winner's circle today, clearly, and that's such a big deal. 150, you said 150, and that was last year, so 151 years ago, in 1866, this was a startup. Who knows? What? Who can imagine? Who could ever have imagined at that time? I know a little bit about a business growing from the ground up, and it's so much a part of the employee team members. All of you all that are here and so many more. Your spirit, your enthusiasm, your commitment, your energy, your talent, all the employees and the leadership. So give it up again to yourselves. Join me. Thank you all. There you go. And Sam, I know you all were, you moved to Lexington, John Hall, 37 years ago with Valvoline, right? 37. But you became the headquarters about 30 years ago. Is that right? Or was it 37? There was it for Valvoline.
Yeah, I think it was then, too.
It was right then, 37 years ago. So this history right here in Lexington goes back 37 years. So when Sam called me a little over a couple years ago and said, we're thinking, Jim, about looking at a new headquarters, we were just super enthusiastic because as a city, council members, as mayor, what you see from the lens that we put on, the governor sees this, the congressman sees this, Carla sees this, you see what a company like Valvoline does beyond just providing jobs, but all the giving back, all the community service that you all are involved in. That is such a big deal. It's so remarkable. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you all, each and every one. Thanks. So having a great American company in a great American city is a very, very big deal, and we are so thankful for you. Now, I'm going to do what mayors do. I'm going to give a proclamation, okay? And I want you all. Now, there are a lot of whereases in this proclamation. And there are a lot of speakers up here, and I've learned the 5 B's of public speaking are be brief, brother, be brief. So I am not going to read every one of these whereases, but I am going to say that this plaque says Valvoline Day. And it talks about Valvoline being the oldest motor oil marketer in the U.S., dating back 151 years. A time when the country was just recovering from the Civil War. And it goes on to say that Valvoline has been a generous corporate citizen, giving back to our city through the support of so many things that Sam has already mentioned and I just did too. And then it finally says, now Jim Gray, Therefore, Jim Gray, as mayor of Lexington, in celebration of the opening of Valvoline's new world headquarters, do hereby declare May 11, 2017 as Valvoline Day in Lexington. All right, Sam. I've got one more thing. And y'all just stay with me for one more little presentation. And this is something that's brand new to Lexington, thanks to one of our council members that I just mentioned, Amanda Mays Bledsoe, who led the effort to be very creative and create a new flag for Lexington. And we'd love for you all to put it right out there on those flagpoles one of these days, Sam. Here it is. Hold it up.
All right.
This is the Blue Horse. The Blue Horse. Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of Commerce Lexington's Board of Directors and staff, I'm honored to be here today participating in the dedication and celebration of Valvoline's Global World Headquarters. That sounds great, doesn't it? The economic development team places great importance in our global brands here in Lexington, and we're proud of Valvoline's presence and commitment to our city. The impact of this new building will be felt by many, including the Valvoline employees, as well as the indirect and induced jobs that have been created through construction. Our team, as well as our partners in the Mayor's Office and the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development, have enjoyed making this project a reality with Valvoline. Congratulations again to Valvoline on your state-of-the-art building and creating a great work environment for employees and a welcoming environment for customers and guests. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jim and Carla. And now I'd like to introduce Congressman Andy Barr to join us, and then Governor Matt Bevin will follow Andy's remarks. Congressman?
Thanks, Sam. Well, Sam, thanks for inviting me to help celebrate in this great day for Valvoline and for Lexington, Kentucky. And Mayor Gray, thanks for your service to this great city, and Carla for your leadership at Commerce Lexington and promoting jobs and economic development in Central Kentucky. Governor, for promoting policies and enacting policies that are really driving job creation in the Commonwealth. And to Sam and your team for inviting me a few years ago to join you and meet everybody and learn more about your company at the old building. But it is really exciting to be here at this new awesome building right here. And this building speaks very loudly that you all are all in with Lexington, Kentucky. And what a beautiful facility and an investment in our community. And it wouldn't have been possible without all of the 650 Valvoline team members who are here today who worked so hard to make this possible. And also the legacy of Mr. and Mrs. Hall and Ashland. And to have this announcement, this opening of this beautiful new facility coinciding with the closing of the IPO and the independence of Valvoline as a company, this speaks volumes about this city. To have a headquarters, a world headquarters of the quality of this right here in our city. And yes, it's great for Lexington and it's great for Valvoline as a company. It also will help the governor and the mayor and everyone here attract other great headquarters because of this beautiful facility. So for all of your investment, for all of what you do in philanthropy, in Habitat for Humanity, the United Way, the Hope Center, the children's charities, everything you all do, thank you all so much. It's an honor to celebrate this great investment in a great city and a great community. Thanks so much.
It is an honor to be here. You've been patiently standing there long enough. We'll make this short and sweet. I will say this about Sam. The famous American writer and poet Ralph Waldo Emerson once noted that nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And I'll tell you what, Sam, you're the embodiment of that, as is your team. And that's why great things are happening here. You are enthusiastic. I love the idea of never being idle. If you weren't already standing, I'd ask you to start the wave or something. But I mean, this is the kind of crowd that would do it well, I have a feeling. And in fact, actually, in 1 second when I'm done, if you will humor me, and Sam, I'm going to ask you to stand down here. If you will all act like you're excited, like really fired up in a minute with hands in the air, I'm going to take a little panoramic because this is actually, for all the cameras that are on that side, this is a stellar view with the flags and the building right here and all of you in the blue and the red. This is truly a memorable time and moment. And I would encourage each of you, take a lot of pictures. Some of you saw me sitting here taking pictures. It's probably not considered the right thing for the governor to be doing up here, taking pictures of you all. But I will say this, there's not a lot of days like this. There are not a lot of moments like this. You are standing here on a day at a moment to celebrate something that has been a long time in the making, as people have noticed. So celebrate it. Take pictures of each other. Take pictures of this building and of the people that are up here in the backdrop and the flags and all of it, because this moment will be gone. And the reality is, though, we are putting seeds in the ground that are going to take root and continue to develop for the next 151 years to come. And that is exciting to be here, to be a part of it. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here to celebrate with you. I'm somebody who has appreciated for many years these products. I grew up in the country, so we always changed our own oil. And I worked on farm equipment where you used to have to lube everything. You had little, grease fittings for everything. And so I've been very familiar with Valvoline products through the years. And when I moved to Kentucky about 18 and a half years ago, I was no longer really at a point where I felt like changing my own oil. And conveniently, about less than a mile from where I lived over in St. Matthews area of Louisville was a Valvoline quick oil change that has consumed enough of my money through the years that I'm delighted. I'm delighted by the fact that you're committing, as you are, to just reaffirming your role here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So congratulations to you. Thank you. Humor me for 1 second. If you'll just stand there, let me take this picture. I'll give it to you. It'll be awesome. All right. Hang on. So all of you just put your hands up and then...
You gonna text that to all of us, Governor Bevin? Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, well, it's been a fun morning of celebration. And so we've got one final step that we need to take. And I think we're gonna have a ribbon, and we're gonna cut that ribbon. But before you all start moving back to work, because you guys do have to work today, and you're never idle, right? I like Governor Bevin's idea. All of us, the four of us, 5 of us, come down here in front, and Eric, you're going to come up and take the shot this way, and we'll give it one more of the big Valvoline V, right, for the shot.
Say, don't move while the camera's pointing at you, because he moved and he literally has no arms. Just freeze frame when he's looking at you. Just freeze frame, give him the big V. Just saying. Just to help him. I mean, you think I'm kidding? I'm going to show this to you. Take a look at this picture. You got no arms, man. Look at that. It's a great
funny
picture, except he has no arms.
Don't move.
Don't move.
All right. Well, with all due respect to the governor, I do have the last word, and so I'm gonna close this ceremony. First, we're gonna take this photo. You guys stay put. And then we're going to cut that ribbon, right? Sound good? All right, Eric, you ready to go? Let's do it. All right, so all of you. Yeah, let's all go. And then, is this going to work, Eric?
Yeah, it'll work.
I think so. Excuse me.